But as I've been covering a lot of these religious stories and some of the church wars on the coast, I took a little grief for a column called Jesus is Not Your Boyfriend, referring to some of these coastal churches. But I want to point out it's not just these coastal cults of personality, if you want to call them that, where we see this kind of drama. And earlier this week, I reported on a similar scandal involving one of South Carolina's oldest religious denominations, and I'm referring to the Second Presbytery of the Associate Reformed Presbyterian Church. Now, for those of you unfamiliar, the ARP is one of the more conservative sects of Presbyterianism, hardcore Calvinist. I'm former ARP myself before I made the switch to the Lutheran side of the equation. But this is a storied denomination, 224 years old. It involves dozens of churches. It involves thousands of worshipers. Perhaps most importantly, it involves millions of dollars. And what we're dealing with are allegations of sexual assault against a former pastor in this Second Presbytery of the ARP Church, and an allegation from the larger church, the ARP, that Second Presbytery covered up this scandal or attempted to cover up. Now, we've reported on this once. We've got many more reports coming. I've had several interviews since that first report was filed, but this has created a huge schism within the Associate Reformed Presbyterian Church. We're talking about an intra-church battle with, again, millions of dollars at stake as the ARP, in the aftermath of this sex scandal and the alleged mishandling by Second Presbytery, they have ordered the dissolution. That's right, the end of Second Presbytery after 224 years, effective September 1 of this year. And not only that, the seizure of more than $5 million in assets, we're told. We don't have the latest balance sheet, but at last glance, 2 years ago, it was over $4.4 million. We're told that number well over $5 million. So big money here. Where's the story going? FITSNews is the only one that's reported on it. We're going to be the ones that continue to drive it moving forward as we interview those who are very close to it. We're going to hear from both Second Presbytery leaders who have been accused of covering up the sex scandal. We're going to try to hear from the pastor accused as well as his alleged victims, who, by the way, their names, we're not publishing them, but they were put out for all to see by the Associate Reformed Presbyterian Church. We're also going to talk to those ARP leaders, though, to find out exactly what led them to those drastic recommendations to shut down a 224-year-old presbytery based on these allegations. So once again, folks, a major religious scandal brewing here in South Carolina. FITSNews, like so many of these stories, Murdoch, Micah Miller, we were first to report on it. Count on us to continue to cover it and bring you the very latest on that church scandal.